It's Pride 2026. Some actors are on parade floats, corporations are covered in rainbows, and the demand for activism. The question whether this is activism or just a very good business strategy. How does on one hand the fan demand for Pride participation and on the other hand demand for no series promotion expose the tension between activism and commercial interest? Today we're tackling this question. We're gonna look at what research says, what actors and actresses say about the topic themselves, and see if we can find an answer. Perspective, theories, and academic frameworks in this video are applied for analytical and entertainment purposes only. They are assembled through our own queer, feminist, and Western lens and are not intended to represent the only or definite way to understand Thai BL, GL, or fandom culture. The clips and examples featured in this video are included solely to illustrate the concepts discussed. They are not intended to mock, expose, or embarrass anyone. Listener curiosity, critical thinking, and a grain of salt are advised. The foundation. Quick recap for everyone who hasn't seen the episode about fan service. Thai BL and GL operate on a concept called Kujen, an imagined couple, which is marketed as a romantic pairing Net JJ, Freen Becky, Earthmix, Namtam film. These couples are the product. Fans don't just watch the series, we follow them across social media, go to fan meet events, and watch their variety shows. The emotional mechanism that drives all of this is called Fin, and you have felt it before as well. It's when you witness a romantic moment, a magic moment, and you have these emotions, and you know what I'm talking about. But Fin is engineered. The appearance, the interaction, the couple outfits are all designed to produce Fin because this transfers into revenue. Queer activist idol personas. Dr. Thomas Bodinet argues that we have a new generation of Thai idols. He calls them the queer activist idol personas. It's a celebrity identity that actually fuses this romantic performance with LGBTQ+ political content. The key insight he shares is that the idols use the Fin, this emotion, as a delivery system. In 2022, we have Z and Uni's characters having a conversation about marriage equality in a bubble bath scene in Cutie Pie. Right at the moment of an intimate romantic scene, we see a discussion about inequality. You cannot feel Fin about Zinunu without consuming the political content as well. And then we have Earth and Mix wrapped in a pride flag in their variety show while having a brand deal with an ice cream, a multinational brand collaboration that became an inseparable political image as well. The Zinunu example was a scripted scene in a series. This kind of is in the middle. It's a brand scripted appearance, but the flag itself isn't a dialogue that somebody wrote for them. It's a political sign that they are wearing on their bodies. For them as well as other idols, it does not stop with just this. The individual statement. We asked you on Instagram as well, who comes to mind first when you think about people who speak up about LGBTQ+ rights? And all of them will come up in this video. Cooheart, who is openly gay, showed up at Pride with an outfit that was designed to represent LGBTQ+ history. He came for a brand-paid event, but it was not only a brand activation. This was a thought-through political statement about LGBTQ+ history as well, performed by an openly queer person. But Cooheart is an actor as well. He has brand endorsements and that's how he was there. His presence at Pride generated content among others for that brand. But does the fact that he commercially benefited invalidates the political statement? Because here's where it gets a bit tricky. Cooheart is openly gay. The calculation changes. He is a member of the community he is representing. He's not borrowing queerness for profit. He's showing up as himself at an event for his community. The commercial benefit is real, but the personal stake is also real. The Thai Contradiction. To understand Bangkok Pride 2026, we have to understand how Thailand got there, because the relationship between the Thai state, LGBTQ plus rights, and the BL and GL industry is one of the most documented contradictions in contemporary queer politics. The protest movement. Since 2020, the Thai youth were building a pro-democracy protest movement that explicitly included LGBTQ plus rights. BL series themselves became part of the vocabulary. So for example, series like I Told Sunset About You, Not Me, The Miracle of Teddy Bear were engaging directly with LGBTQ plus advocacy and the pro-democracy movement on screen. In November 2021, the Thai Constitutional Court ruled against marriage equality. And when the Institutional Court ruling was published, lots of Thai idols actually spoke up online, and then again calling out the court's ruling as discriminatory. And this is not a brand safe pride post they were posting. This is a group of contracted celebrities that are openly calling out their own governmental court rulings. The limits, Thailand's laws that forbid to criticize the monarchy. Thailand's Ministry of Commerce launched a program called Thai Boys Love Content, which was explicitly there to support BL production companies to distribute their series internationally and build on Thailand's BL soft power strategy. As a side note, the first Thai GL was airing in 2022, so that's why at that time the focus was on boys love. It was released during Pride Month, and at that time Thai BL already succeeded 1 billion Thai baht. This is about 28 or 29 million US dollars. The government was marketing queerness as an export product. The feedback loop. Those actors did speak out, and it did not end their careers. If anything, the visibility might have also helped to get a platform. So fans rewarded them speaking up. And this result likely also encouraged other people to speak up and also raised the baseline of expectations of fans. If people stay silent now, it looks more suspicious than it was 5 years ago. Being political didn't cost them anything, so more became political. So these days it seems like the fans are more demanding than requesting them to be political. Marriage equality passes. And then things changed. Marriage equality became legal in January 2025. Thailand became the first Asian UN member state that passed a comprehensive same-sex marriage law. Did the BL and GL industry help? Yes. Partially. Research argues that the cultural normalization of same-sex relationships that are depicted in these series help to create conditions to make same-sex marriage imaginable by society and politically viable. And with this depiction, aren't Y series always political? They show a love story that was not accepted by society for a very long time. However, talking about LGBTQ+ representation in the series will be a topic by itself. Today we want to look more closely at the industry itself, because the question arises, do companies produce these series because they want to be political? The suggestion is more that they can make a lot of money. Companies and pride events. Let's look at Bangkok Pride and especially this tension between activism and capitalism. NetJJ and Tudor Yim went to Pride, sent by their company in partnership with the M-Sphere. Fans came to see them. Their presence was framed as Pride solidarity and raised awareness. At the same time, it generated a lot of content and social media engagement for the brand as well as the company. We have lots of examples of brands paying companies to send their artists to Pride. The commercial incentives exist. But does this commercial framing erase the political meaning? Or does the political meaning survive and even strive through the framing that the commercial infrastructure provides? Which brings us to the harder conversation. During Pride Month 2023, Namping tweeted this: "I hope that Pride Month doesn't stop at rainbow washing, which is just using gender equality as marketing. Everyone needs to be aware of the problem that happens with LGBTQ plus people and be part of supporting equality no matter who you are. Rainbow washing is basically like queer baiting, but for products or for companies. The general shape of rainbow washing is well documented at this point. Companies wrap themselves and their product in pride slogans and symbols without backing that up, supporting the community they are profiting off. No donations, no inclusive workplace policies. Because turning a profit comes first, the branding quietly disappears whenever or wherever it's not financially profitable anymore. The ticketing call out. Around the same time, De Mundi was praised for sending NetJJ and Tude Yim to Pride. They were called out in the same breath for a fan event with very high pricing. That's the tension in miniature. Visible solidarity that quietly profits off a political movement that was started to support a minority to show inclusion and diversity. However, the situation evoked the idea that this event was only there to profit off Pride. So the criticism wasn't just about inclusion, it was also about the optic of using Pride as a revenue opportunity. When a company participates in a Pride event, is that activism or is it the business strategy? And this connects back to Namping's tweet. Companies wrapping themselves in Pride flag without backing this up with anything concrete to support the community. A ticketed fan event during Pride Month without visible donations to the community or any other support looks more like a business that wants to cash in on the rainbow. But in Thailand, this gets a bit more complicated when you see companies supporting the community, at least in some ways, and then also having their profit come only from this political content. GMMTV's absence. And here's a question that we need to sit with before judging either side too fast. If a company like GMMTV wasn't as visible at Pride as fans suspected, was that because they didn't want to go or because they weren't offered enough money? Was that because their own idols didn't feel comfortable or queer enough to show up at this kind of event? We actually don't know, and I think it's important to name without assuming the worst. Absence from a parade doesn't automatically mean insincerity, but this also raises the question if a company should be visible at Pride with a commercial benefit in mind or to be totally absent entirely. Which one serves the community more? The rainbow washing checklist. A study published a checklist asking LGBTQ plus individuals and how they decide whether or not something is rainbow washing. Timing. Does the company only show the rainbow in June? Intersectionality. Does the content center around cisgendered idols, or does it also include trans, non-binary, asexual voices? The history. Does the company ever done anything that actively harmed the LGBTQ plus community? Donations and material support. And this is something that most people probably don't talk about, because if a company profits off Pride sponsorships, fan meets, is anything of that money actually also going to the LGBTQ plus community in donations or other support? Here's something that the study adds. Even when LGBTQ plus consumers identify something as rainbow washing, most of them still prefer this over silence. And Namping's tweet also captured this. He didn't say stop, he said don't stop here. This preference over imperfect visibility is also one of the reasons why fans who are part of the community continue to show up, continue to engage, even though they know the commercial machinery that runs underneath. The visibility of selves matters, even when it's entangled with profit. And this is especially seen for GL series because a higher percentage of the fans are identifying as part of the community. We see what is happening in the West right now, and in some ways it's quite the opposite what we see in Thailand. In the West, Pride marketing budgets are being cut, and year on year less companies show their Pride logo. This is the proof that much of Western corporate pride was commercially motivated. Because when the commercial calculation changed, the rainbows disappeared. Companies that had no actual interest in LGBTQ+ rights showed their hand when the math shifted. Thailand is different, and this is not because Thai corporations work differently than they do in the West, because the political and commercial calculation currently points in the opposite way. BL and GL are making lots of money. Pride is profitable and politically aligned with what is going on in Thailand right now, which it no longer is in the West. That doesn't make Thai corporate pride fake. It does mean we have to be clear-eyed about why it exists and also ask what happens if the calculation ever shifts. Thai BL and GL exist in a system where commercial incentives and activism do not exist opposite of each other, but are very much entangled. And the question never simply is it real or is it fake? The question is, who profits, who's left out, and what is the system refusing to do? The Ticketing Pride meet and greet event is an example to show this tension. Companies want credit for showing up to raise awareness, while also charging fans to be part of the celebration and to have access to their idols. The parade presence gives them visibility. The fan meet gives them additional revenue. Without donation, without including the community, the rainbow remains a product. But activism doesn't have to be pure to be real. Cooheart showing up with an historical informed outfitted pride is real. Actors speaking up about the court ruling is real. And all of these things happen inside a commercial system, not outside of it. In the end, we are all trying to survive in a capitalistic world. And that doesn't mean that people have to sell their souls to corporations, but it can also mean to make money off of your activism and your beliefs. But in my opinion, we can ask and demand of people with a platform to be present, to speak up for LGBTQ+ rights and move the world closer to equality for everyone, especially when they profit off of that community. Then the question isn't whether the industry is making money, because yes, it is. The question is whether the activism survives when the calculation changes. What are your thoughts? How was your Pride Month? Let me know in the comments, and remember, happy Pride Month all year round. This was filmed at Cove Sea. I want to know your opinions. Who did I miss? Who's also speaking up about LGBTQ+ rights. Thank you so much for watching and coming with me on this journey, and I will see you with the next deep dive.